What up, WeHo? This month, West Hollywood's Christian community celebrated Easter, that special holiday where the Easter Bunny rose from the ground. Just remember, if he sees his shadow, it means 6 more weeks of winter. Welcome to WeHoTV News. Happy April, West Hollywood! I'm Mike Siriaco, and I'm bringing you everything you need to know about WeHo, courtesy of the city of West Hollywood. A lot has happened since we last saw you way back in March, so we're going to bring you up to speed with the WeHo Wind-Up. Let's put 30 seconds on the clock. Roses are red, gays love to brunch. West Hollywood celebrated National Poetry Month. This year's Coachella Music Festival featured Lady Gaga, Radiohead, Kendrick Lamar, and Hot Messes. Melania Trump starred in How the Grinch Stole Easter. The children of West Hollywood enjoyed a public reading of One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Roo Fish at Drag Queen Story Hour. And Donald Trump enjoyed some chocolate cake that was the bomb. I'm sorry, I misread that. I meant to say Donald Trump enjoyed some chocolate cake while he bombed Syria.
We've just launched 59 missiles heading to Iraq.
Syria. You bombed Syria. You don't even know who you're bombing, and that's pants-crappingly terrifying. So I better change into a fresh pair of news briefs. On April 4th, women in books met at the West Hollywood Library to discuss Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale, a novel chronicling a totalitarian theocracy that Hulu is adapting into an upcoming ongoing series. If you missed this month's book club meeting, be sure to swing by May when they discuss the novelization of The Hot Wives of Orlando. On April 5th, Outfest, with the support of the City of West Hollywood through WeHo Arts, presented a screening of Hungry, a documentary featuring 3 female chefs thriving in the California culinary industry. This film shouldn't be confused with the similarly named Hangry, a documentary about 3 drag queens fiending for brunch. Speaking of movies, on April 15th, the City of West Hollywood Library hosted a screening of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, starring Harrison Ford, or as Callista Flockhart likes to call him, Grandpa. On April 20th, Stern WeHoans celebrated 420, the unofficial holiday for those who imbibe marijuana. Although scientists have discovered that smoking weed can combat ailments such as anxiety and Alzheimer's disease, be warned that heavy usage can also damage your short-term memory. In other news, on April 20th, Stern WeHoans celebrated 420, the unofficial holiday for those who imbibe marijuana. Although scientists have discovered that smoking weed can combat ailments such as anxiety and Alzheimer's disease, be warned that heavy usage can also damage your short-term memory. In honor of Earth Day, the City of West Hollywood recognized National Arbor Day on April 22nd with a tree planting event at Pacific Hills School. For all our millennial viewers out there, trees are what we use to make books. Books are what we use to read. And reading is what we used to do before Instagram. So, you know. And finally, on April 26th, City West Hollywood staff members and local sheriff's representatives participated in Denim Day by wearing jeans to raise awareness about rape and sexual assault. Denim Day was founded following a 1999 Italian court ruling in which a rape conviction case was overturned with the argument that because the victim was wearing tight jeans at the time of the assault, she must have been expressing consent. Let me make it clear. Wearing tight jeans does not mean a person is automatically expressing sexual consent. All it means is that they may be a member of Wham in the 1980s. Alright boys, we got some company coming over today, so let's wrap up these news briefs. During the last week of March, West Hollywood City Hall was lit blue, the color of pre-exposure prophylaxis, which you may know as PrEP. This gesture supported the Los Angeles LGBT Center's current campaign, Without Fear, aimed to raise awareness of this HIV risk-reducing medication. But PrEP isn't the only little blue thing around here. Please welcome our special guests, the power couple of West Smurf Village, Hefty and Vanity Smurf.
Thanks for having us on the show.
My, isn't someone smurfing adorable?
Thanks, Vanity.
I was talking about myself.
Okay. Well, how are you boys enjoying West Hollywood so far?
I smurfing adore it. Every time I strut down Santa Monica Boulevard, everyone's checking out my little blue tail.
And the Equinox off of Sunset is smurfing sweet.
Yeah? Are the weight machines better than the ones in Smurf Village?
No idea. I never left the steam room.
Well then, let's get down to business. What can you tell our viewers about PrEP?
Oh, PrEP is a smurfing dream. Just 1 pill a day and I can smurf the smurf out of as many smurfs as I want. Sometimes I wish there were 3 of me, so I could have a menage-a-me.
Okay, settle down, Smurfy Pie. I think the big thing Smurf Without Fear campaign is trying to get across is even with PrEP, it's still important to wear condoms while smurfing. Although PrEP reduces the risk of transmitting HIV, you can still contract other smurfily transmitted diseases like chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis.
Well, I think the most important part of the Smurf Without Fear campaign is that Smurfs aren't the only people of color to risk contracting HIV and AIDS.
That's right, my Smurfy Pie. According to the Los Angeles LGBT Center's website, 1 in 2 gay or bisexual black men and 1 in 4 gay or bisexual Latino men will be infected with HIV in their lives. You know, it's important that these demographics know the risks and know their options.
Is PrEP easy to get in Smurf Village?
Sure. Whenever I need more PrEP, Papa Smurf just smurfs me up a new batch in his cauldron.
But even here in West Hollywood, PrEP is covered under most health insurance plans. And for those who don't have health insurance, there are patient assistance programs available through the center that help make it more affordable.
That's great to know. Thanks for coming out here today. You've been very informative. And you make a great couple.
I love you, Vanity Smurf.
Aw, I love me too, Hefty Smurf.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Smurfs. Now let's hop along the rainbow from blue to green. This month, we're celebrating the greenest holiday of the year. No! I'm talking about 420. In marijuana culture, April 20th has been designated as the semi-official holiday for huff and hemp. According to legend, 420 traces back to San Rafael, California, where, in 1971, a posse of potheads known as the Waldos would rendezvous at their local high school at 4:20 p.m. every afternoon to blaze up. From there, the phrase permeated into the countercultural vernacular as the official time for toking the THC, and as an extension, the date 420 evolved into an entire day dedicated to dank nugs. And cannabis gives us tons of reasons to celebrate. Scientists have found that marijuana plants can treat myriad maladies, including weight loss, diabetes, cancer, depression, autism, seizures, acceleration of bone healing, ADHD, glaucoma, lung health, anxiety, Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, muscle spasms, eating disorders, arthritis, PTSD, metabolic regulation, helping patients with AIDS and HIV, nausea, headaches, speech problems, skin conditions, dealing with chemotherapy, OCD, asthma attacks, impotence, lowering blood pressure, and panic attacks. Plus, for some of us, it makes watching cartoons awesome. And this year, Californians have even more to celebrate since recreational marijuana is now legal in the Golden State. Sure, here in WeHo, patients have benefited from medicinal marijuana's healing properties since 2006, but there are benefits to full legalization. First of all, bringing in the green brings in the green to our great state. Just look at Colorado, one of the first states to legalize recreational marijuana. Last year alone, the Centennial State raked in nearly $200 million in tax revenue from marijuana sales alone. Analysts have predicted that California will see similar revenues once legalization is implemented, which will be useful if we need funding for ambitious projects like, I don't know, the nation's first state-sponsored single-payer healthcare system, or we need to blast our own environmental satellites into space, or we just needed to fund public education after Betsy DeVos sinks her fangs into our school system. My grandma, what big teeth you have.
All the better to kill bears in school with, my dear.
Creepy. And in addition to these fiscal benefits, legalizing marijuana also lends legal protections for pot enthusiasts, which is important now that Jeff Foghorn Leghorn Sessions is our new Attorney General.
This drug is dangerous. You cannot play with it. It's not funny. It's not something to laugh about. Good people don't smoke marijuana.
If good people don't smoke marijuana, does that make me a naughty person? Is that why dudes at Food Bar are always trying to spank me? Of course, getting goofy on ganja has nothing to do with being good or bad. Unfortunately, getting arrested for pot possession often does have to do with race. According to the ACLU, while Caucasians and African Americans smoke weed at nearly identical rates, an African American is 3.73 times more likely to get arrested for it. Good thing Attorney General Sessions doesn't have any racial bias. Oh wait, except for that time he prosecuted African Americans for voting. Even here in West Hollywood, we aren't completely immune. Dispensaries in our city have been targets of federal DEA raids in the past, and there is talks about whether or not the feds will remain hands-off regarding marijuana use at the state level in the future. Which is why statewide marijuana legalization in California is so important. So this 420, take a deep breath and pass me the Doritos, please. Marijuana is green. Marijuana is fun. Come check out some poetry action with Eddie Robinson.
I'm Eddie Robinson, and this is WeHoTV News.
1967, my world fell down.
It's National Poetry Month in West Hollywood, and as we continue to celebrate the folk era of the Sunset Strip and mark the 50th anniversary of the Sunset Strip riots, why not combine the two?
Goodbye, North Beach Leather. Goodbye, The Source. Goodbye, Tower Records. Now, I'm just philosophical.
The West Hollywood Library recently hosted a reading of both original work and work by poets who seek to capture this influential time in our city's history.
Because memory is catching grasshoppers without stepping onto the grass. The grass glowing in its half-life quiet.
The event, titled WeHoArts As Far as the Eye Can See, Sunset Strip Through the Eyes of Poets, was organized by the City Poet Laureate, Kim Dower, and WeHoArts. Kim spoke to us about her own unique take on the history of the Sunset Strip and what inspired her to help organize the event.
Poetry should be fun, it should be relatable, we should connect to it, it should inspire us maybe to write our own or read other poets. So this is entertainment with a literary twist.
In the future, everyone will be famous for $15.
Poet Brendan Constantine gave us his take on taking a trip down the Sunset Strip, then and now.
Interestingly enough, we were commemorating a period of great social, political, and cultural upheaval in the city, and we're in another, right now, where the volumes turned up, quite loud right now. So I think it was a wonderful collage of the city tonight. I think it was very nicely balanced.
For more information on the City of West Hollywood's Arts Division and other upcoming WeHoArts events, visit weho.org/arts. I'm Eddie Robinson, WeHoTV News.
Thanks, Eddie. On April 13th, the City of West Hollywood issued a response to Donald Trump's move to sign into law House Joint Resolution 43, which allows states to withhold federal funds from facilities that provide abortions, such as Planned Parenthood. Quote, "The City of West Hollywood was the first city in the nation to declare itself pro-choice and has continually supported state and federal legislation protecting and advancing women's reproductive rights and access to health care. West Hollywood will not remain silent as efforts are made to take women back to an era of back-alley abortions. This is completely objectionable, and the City of West Hollywood will continue to fight for women to be treated with respect and for dignified health care for all. Anything less is unacceptable." In this vein, I'd like to dispel some myths about Planned Parenthood. Like this doozy Republican Senator John Kyle spouted.
If you want an abortion, you go to Planned Parenthood, and that's well over 90% of what Planned Parenthood does.
Shut up! Shut your mouth!
Cartman's right. According to Claire Coleman, a Planned Parenthood affiliate chief executive, abortions make up only 3% of its medical services. Nearly all the care offered at Planned Parenthood health centers is preventative services and screenings, including contraception, testing for sexually transmitted infections, pap smears, and breast exams. But this fact about Planned Parenthood isn't the only one that Republicans get wrong.
I long to see the day that Roe versus Wade is consigned to the ash heap of history where it belongs. A Trump-Pence administration will defund Planned Parenthood.
Here's the thing, Pensy. Defunding Planned Parenthood won't reduce abortions. What does reduce abortions is contraception, which many women get from Planned Parenthood, which you want to defund. You see where this is going, Pence? Do you need me explaining to you over dinner? I'm not a married woman, so anything we do is okay. While the vice president wants to defund Planned Parenthood, some just want to flat out delegitimize it, like Glenn Beck, who insinuated that only prostitutes use their services.
Stop just a second. Hookers? Who? Who depends on Planned Parenthood?
Actually, Glenn Becky with the bad hair. Although the typical Planned Parenthood patient is a working woman aged 20 to 24, their facilities accommodate women and men of all ages, races, income levels, marital and social statuses. And if I may add my 2 cents as a gay man, let me say, I don't have a vagina, or ovaries, or fallopian tubes, or labia, neither majora or minora, so my opinion shouldn't matter. Nor should John Kyle's, or Mike Pence's, or Glenn Beck's, or that of any man. I know I don't want these freaks telling me who I can or cannot marry, and the same liberty should be extended to women and their right to get quality health care. Ironically, Michael Moore, a straight man, puts it best.
But what I say to people who are against abortion is, if you are against it, don't have one.
And ladies, just know, WeHo has your back. And vagina, and ovaries, and fallopian tubes, and labia both, minora and majora. We now go back to Eddie Robinson, who's covering a completely different kind of lady over at the West Hollywood Library. Eddie, take it away.
I'm Eddie Robinson, and this is WeHoTV News. In drag culture, reading is always fundamental, and in West Hollywood, we take that pretty literally, especially when you're reading for the children. Drag queens are always required to read the house down, and in this case, the house is the library, and the audience is kids. Drag Queen Story Hour is a children's storytelling and craft event, started in 2014, that has since been embraced nationwide. Created by Michelle T. and Radar Productions in San Francisco, this event brings children, families of all types, and drag queens together for an hour of entertainment.
We decided to create this event because it was an inclusive environment, so other children, especially transgender children and boys that like wearing dresses and queer-identified children can come and have a safe space. We hope it impacts with acceptance and accepting everyone for who they are and not judging. Like we had a book today where they were reading about, are you going to be friends with a boy in a dress? Are you going to make fun of a boy in a dress? Are you going to make fun of a boy that likes pink? Are you going to be his friend? Are you going to accept him and love him for who he is? So that's kind of the message that we want to put out there, is just love and acceptance.
Drag Queen Story Hours can now be found in Brooklyn and Ottawa, with other cities in the works in addition to West Hollywood, where it's really made an impact.
It's very satisfying. I was thinking back to when I was a kid and how I wanted someone, someone I could look up to, someone that, I saw in my head that I wanted to be, I guess. And I'm hoping that I did that for the kids here today.
The library is open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday, with alternate hours Friday through Sunday. For more information on events taking place in West Hollywood, visit @WeHoCity on social media. I'm Eddie Robinson, WeHoTV News. Back to you, Mike, in the studio.
Thanks, Eddie. Now let's get those hands where I can see them, because this month's special guest is not messing around.
Hey, what up, WeHo? I'm Mike Siriaco, and I'm in the backseat of a cop car. Again. With me, you may know her as Captain Holly Perez, but you would be wrong, because she's now been promoted to Commander Holly Perez. In the front seat, we have the new captain, Sergio Aloma. Thank you for driving us today.
My pleasure.
Right now, we're doing a patrol. What exactly would a patrol entail?
So when the deputies go out for what we call proactive patrol, so it's basically what Sergio and I are doing right now. We're looking around. If he saw a traffic violation, he would probably pull that person over. If we saw homeless people just hanging out with obviously no reason to be in the area, no business in the area, we would stop and talk with them.
One of the more unique things that Holly does is every month she will have coffee with people in the community.
Coffee with the captain.
Coffee with the captain, which I think you're going to be possibly passing that baton on to new Captain Aloma. Why do you think that direct communication is so important?
Well, I think a lot of people see us in the cars. There's a layer of separation there, but this makes us accessible to everyone. They can come if they want to. They don't have to, but if they have concerns or questions, they can come in and have a one-on-one time.
So, do you think that's something you'd like to continue, Captain Aloma?
Absolutely. I think there's a definite value to what Holly was saying, in that we get to, as captains, interact with members of the community, answer their questions directly. Obviously, we'll continue Coffee with the Captain, but I'm going to add Coffee with the Cops, which is a program that's been used by other agencies. I want the deputies to hear from the community members directly, so they can hear from our residents and our business owners what their concerns are related to crime and quality of life issues. And then I want dialogue between our deputies and our residents.
So going back to the whole making ties with the community, do you find doing patrols helps foster, because as you said, it gets you out from behind the desk, you're on the streets, you're seeing your community.
And one of the things I've done and I've enjoyed doing while I've been here, I walk around.
Oh. Oh, we got something going on. Okay, we are now seeing why we do patrols. As we were interviewing, we pulled into Ralph's. Apparently, the security guard at the Ralph's had flagged Captain Loman down. It seems like there was some problem with a man loitering and something in his backpack. So right now, Commander Perez is looking through the backpack. They have a suspect detained. I'm not quite sure why. Would you like to share with our viewers what went down?
Well, we were just patrolling through one of our local supermarkets down on the east side of town, Ralph's there on La Brea and Fountain. And as we were going through the parking lot, I noticed that the uniformed security guard assigned to the store there, she was chasing a gentleman out of the store that she alleged had attempted to take some merchandise from inside the store, put it in his backpack, and then leave the store without paying for it. However, she had intervened before he had even gotten anywhere close to the register and asked him to put the stuff back, which he did. And now at that point, she was just wanting us to inform him that he was no longer welcome inside the store. So we were just able to intervene there and speak to both parties involved, and I think we had a reasonable conclusion to that incident. Everyone's agreeable. He agreed not to come back, and she knows that she can call the station any time if he does, and then we'll respond out there with our deputies and handle it.
Well, that was a happy ending, and thank you guys so much for all your hard work. And thank you. For once, I got to be in the back seat of a cop car without any handcuffs.
Oh, I can take care of that.
That's it for this month. Join us in May when I hit up the Los Angeles LGBT Center. Now they're putting a little train spotting tourniquet on there. I like it because it's giving me a big bicep. Keep it cute, WeHo.